أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome to lesson number 52 of Ilmul Balagha. Alhamdulillah, we have started learning about Ilmul Bayan. We have completed Ilmul Ma'ani. We know that there are three types of Ilmul Balagha. We are going to study Ilmul Ma'ani, Ilmul Bayan, and Ilmul Badi. Alhamdulillah, we have covered the longest of the ilm, that is Ilmul Ma'ani. Now we have started with Ilmul Bayan. In Ilmul Ma'ani, we have covered, Alhamdulillah, all the important areas of study: Al Khabar wa Insha, Zikr wa Hasf, Al Taqdeem wa Ta'khir, Al Qasr, Wasl wa Fasl, Ijaz wa Itnab wa Masawa, Tarif wa Tankir, and Itlaq wa Taqyid. So, Alhamdulillah, we have covered them in much detail. Inshallah, we are going to continue with Ilmul Ma'ani when we are done with all the three, with the introduction of all the three ilm: the Ilmul Ma'ani, Ilmul Bayan, and Ilmul Badi. So, Ilmul Bayan, we already have started it. We know that it is all about metaphors and the similes. Metaphors and similes are both figures of speech that are used to make a comparison between two things that are not alike. The difference is that the similes make a comparison by just saying that something is like something else. But metaphors, as we'll do it, you'll see that they make the comparison by saying that something is something else, but also making the comparison. So, Ilm Bayan is all about this is the science of eloquence, in which we are learning about how the metaphors and similes are used. Also, we started with we learned that in this science we are going to learn about al-tashbih, al-isti'ara, al-haqiqat wal majaz, and wal kinaya. We started with al-tashbih, and we learn about its tarif, that a tashbih is known as a simile, and in a simile the speaker tries to compare between two things in a very beautiful imagery, or gives us a vivid picture of something. So this is about tashbih. We learn about the four important components of or the arkan of the tashbih: mushabbah, mushabbah bihi, adatu tashbih, and wajhu shabah. Mushabbah, this is a person or thing that we want to make comparison of. Mushabbah bihi is referring to the person or thing that we are making the comparison to. Adatu tashbih are the tools that connect the mushabbah and mushabbah bihi. Also, wajh shabah is we can say the attribute or the quality that the both the mushabbah and mushabbah bihi shares in the comparison. So we also did the example of the tashbih that has all the four components, its main arkan: adatu tashbih, mushabbah bihi, mushabbah, and wajhu shabah. Anta kashamsi fidyai. You are like the sun in its brightness or illumination. In this example, we see that all the four components are present. Al mushabbah is present, anta is mushabbah, Ka is adat tashbih. Ash-shamsi is mushabba bihi. Fidiyai is wajhu shabha. So here all the components or arkan are present. And this is an example of tashbih when we have all these components present. We also did a few more examples regarding all the arkan when they are present. We learned about the tools that like we have the examples for, like ka. There are other tools like hasiba, ashbaha, mislu, ka'anna, and we also did the examples for these tools that denote the comparison. Today, inshallah, we are going to continue that if any of the essential components, the arkan, that we know that they are four. Again, I'm repeating, they are mushabba, the adatu tashbih, the mushabba bihi, the wajhu shabba. If they are going to be missing, we have the different classifications for the simile. It is going to change. So here we see that here Mushaba is a compared like the compared object. The other tashbih is a tool of the comparison. Mushaba bihi, the object of the comparison, and Vajushaba is the common attribute. So we did the example of anta kashamsi fidiyai. So here let's see the example when one of the component is like First of all, if they are present, what we are going to call them? They are very important to learn. So whenever the adatu tashbih is mentioned, if it is mentioned, we are mentioning here because there are going to be examples when it is not mentioned. So when it is mentioned, then the tashbih is going to be called as mursal. It is going to be called as mursal. Anta kashamsi fidyai. So in the sentence above, kaf is the adatu tashbih and it is mentioned, it is present, it is not omitted. So there, that is why a tashbih is going to be called as mursal. So whenever the tool of the comparison is mentioned, it is present. In this example, it is kaf. We are going to call this simile, this tashbih as mursal. Again, the four main components, just recall them. They are mushabba, mushabba bihi, adadu tashbih, and wajhu shabha. So remember, when the adadu tashbih is present, we are going to call a tashbih as mursal. The second one is whenever the wajhu shabha is mentioned, then the tashbih is called as mufassal. Anta kashamsi fidyai. Again, this is the same example. Here we see the wajha, the reason for the comparison, and that is adya, and that is the illumination, the light. Here we know that this is a light, and that is present here. So we are going to call our tashbih as mufassal. So we learn two types of tashbih. When our adadu tashbih is present, it is going to be called as mursal. When our wajh shabha is, or the reason of the comparison is present, we are going to call a tashbih as mufassal. Again, there are four main components: mushabba, mushabba bihi, adatu tashbih, and wajhu shabha. So brightness here, it is the wajha or the reason of tashbih, and it is present here. We are going to call this tashbih as mufassal. Now number three. Now here it is when adadu tashbih is removed. So when the adadu tashbih is removed, the tashbih is going to be called as muakkad. Muakkad. So anta kashamsi fidyai. This is the normal sentence. Now let's see when adadu tashbih is removed. Anta shamsun fidyai. Anta shamsun fidyai. When the tool of comparison is removed from the sentence, the simile is going to be called as muakkad. So emphasized tashbih. So emphasized simile. So you are the sun in brightness. So you see, we have noticed you the word like, the kaf of tashbih is omitted. This omission, the removal of another tashbih, it just strengthens the comparisons, making it more emphatic. So when another tashbih is removed, we are going to call that tashbih muakkad, and it is a form of more emphasized simile. You are sun, you are you are the sun in brightness, like you are not like the sun, but you are the sun. That it is more emphasized, like the kaf is removed here. We'll see that the next form of the tashbih, a tashbih mujmal, mujmal simile. A simile is classified as mujmal when the reason, the wajha of the comparison is removed. See here the normal sentence, the detailed simile. Anta kashamsi fidyai. Now the mujmal one. Anta kashamsi. You are like the sun in brightness. Detailed simile. You are like the sun. The mujmal simile. We know that you are like the sun. We know that. Why we are comparing it? In the second example, the reason of comparison is removed. The brightness is removed, like making the simile more general. We know that like sun has many qualities, uh, like it gives brightness, it is so shiny, it is so huge. So it is like more general. When it is removed, we are not comparing a single reason. We are making it general. We are not giving a particular reason for the comparison, but we are leaving it open-ended, and it is a general simile. So anta kashamsi, here you are like the sun. So this is open-ended, like the mukhatib can take it like there are so many reasons for being like a sun. So this is another form that we learn mujmal. So we learn about the four main wordings today. Mursal, when the adadu tashbih is mentioned. Mufassal, when the wajh shabah is mentioned. Adatu tashbih, when it is removed. Muakkad. Mujmal, when we have the wajh shabah removed or omitted. The fifth one is the baligh simile, tashbih baligh. A simile is classified as baligh when both the tools of comparison and the reason of the comparisons are removed. Like adat tashbih is removed, wajh shabah is removed. See the example, kanta kashamsi anta kashamsi fidyai. Here you are like the sun in brightness. Now we are saying anta shamsun, like this is baligh simile. Adatu tashbih is removed, wajh shabah is removed. This is baligh simile, and in the second example, in this you are like the sun, both like the this adatu tashbih and the reason, the brightness, wajh shabah is both removed. They are both removed, making the simile more direct and emphatic. This is the most direct simile, baligh simile, a baligh tashbih. Anta shamsun, you are the sun. You are the sun. So we can say that this is the most emphatic and most direct form of the tashbih when we do not have another tashbih and we do not have the wajh shabah. So this is the types that we learned. Alhamdulillah. There are some additional note that we are going to learn as well. We are going to remember these words. Like you need to remember four types, like mursal, mujmal, and then we have muakkad, and then we have also the third one, and that is mufassal, when the wajh shabah is present. These additional notes you are going to also remember, a simile can belong to more than one category. Remember that at the same time. Like it can be mursal, mujmal in the at the same time. The tool of comparison is present, but the reason of the comparison is omitted. So that means adadu tashbih is present. That is why we are saying it mursal. But the wajh shabah is omitted, so that is why we are calling it mujmal. So both can happen in the same time in the same sentence. Inshallah, we are going to see the example as well. It is going to be called as mursal mujmal tashbih. We have then mursal mufassal tashbih. Then tool of comparison and the reason of comparison both are present. Like in the first one, we see the anta kashamsi fidyai. Both are present. It is mursal, it is mufassal as well. So tool of comparison and the reason of the comparison both present. Anta kashamsi fidyai. You are like the sun in brightness. So it is mursal as well and it is mufassal as well. Both at the same time. We have the third type, muakkad mufassal. Tool of the comparison removed, but the reason of the comparison mentioned in the sentence, and that we have also seen, like it is muakkad. Tool of the comparison is removed, like anta shamsun. We removed ka. Anta kashamr. Anta kashamsi, we removed it. Anta shamsun, we just made it removed. But mufassal, like the reason of the comparison is mentioned, like fiddi eye. Anta shamsun, fiddi eye. So that means it is muakkad and mufassal at the same time. The tool of the comparison is removed. We removed ka, but the reason of the comparison is mentioned, that is fidyai. So this is muakkad mufassal. Let's see the most beautiful example, and we are going to see, if you're going to ponder uh, we are if you're going to ponder on the ayat of the Quran, you are going to see that there are so many examples that you see a direct tashbih baligh, and as in this example, from a very beautiful surah Naba. This is ayah number 10 of Surah Naba, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا, and made the night, and we have made the night as clothing. So here, this is tashbih baligh because it is muakkad and mujmal at the same time. Why? Because the reason, the adatu tashbih is removed, the wajh shabah is removed. As you can see, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا, and we made the night as clothing. This is an example of tashbih, muakkad or mujmal, and it is called baligh. We see here there are four types, mushabba, mushabba bihi, the arkan of the tashbih, and the wajh shabba and adatu tashbih. These are four arkan. And in tashbih baligh, we know that it is the most, we can say, the strongest comparison. Like adatu tashbih is removed and the wajh shabba is not stated explicitly. So here, instead of saying the night is like clothing, the verse is directly stating that the night is clothing. We made the night clothing for you, making the image more powerful. Like mocker, this is also, we can say, the emphasized simile. The simile is emphasized because there is no comparison word like or misl, nothing like that. This makes the meaning stronger and more direct. Also, mujmal, we this is just a brief, like simile. That like the simile is brief because it does not mention the reason of. The common feature, or we can say the wajh shabha. And what does that means? The night as a clothes. It means the night covers and surrounds everything, just like clothes cover the body. So, since the words does not explicitly says this, the simile remains concise and open for reflection. Like beautifully, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compares the night to clothing, and this is tashbih baligh, because there is no comparison word and no explicit common feature, and it is mocked, it is emphasized because the comparison, because of this comparison is stated as a fact. So here it is mujmal, it is very brief, because the similarity, like covering and concealing, is understood but not directly mentioned here. So this is such a powerful image, makes us feel how the night wraps around us like a garment, bringing peace and rest. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for giving us this opportunity to learn His language. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for uh, putting barakah in our time so that we can avail much of the time and we can learn about His beautiful words in the Quran, and we can ponder upon His words. So you can just go through this Surah Naba and you will see many examples of Tashbih Baliya. So Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This is for today. We learn about different types of Tashbih. Inshallah, we are going to continue the topic of Tashbih in the next session. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al-Azim. ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.